Thursday, May the 5th, and this is the Education Committee. Welcome, everyone. We have one bill. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a quorum, and we have one bill that is BL 2022-1169 by Benedict Allen and Withers. And it is to approve an agreement between Metro Government and the Metro Board of Education and East End Prep. I have one of the sponsors here. Would you like to speak to that, please?
Sure. I'll speak briefly. East End Prep has been operated by the Martha O'Brien Center. It's a charter school that has been in operation. When I bought my house here in 2005, I think they were already open at that time, but they've been in the community a long time. It was the first school that was, I believe, was operated by Martha O'Brien. They occupy a building that used to be Dalewood Middle School, and they've been there for a long time. And I believe this is just an update to their lease on that building.
Because it's not a new lease.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, but they've been there in the Inglewood community for, like I said, probably going on 20 years, maybe.
Okay. Thank you so much. Do I have any question, committee members?
I have a comment or two, if I may. And this is like
Sure.
East End. Thank you. East End may be, what I'm about to say has nothing to do with East End, but this is the 4th charter school lease that we've approved. And I'm a little uneasy about the number of, like the number of vacant buildings that we have, and a charter school decides to rent it, and if we're gonna hold on to it, then I guess it should be rented. But at the same time, and we're getting, we're told that the market rent is okay, or is, kind of standard. But we've also got millions of dollars of maintenance costs at some point are gonna have to be made. And if you look at the 7-year school MNPS, the 7-year capital budget needs and maintenance needs, all these charter schools are put in year 7. And so I don't know, and I don't know if they're being pushed back. Just oh, we're not going to worry about this building. And so, I will say, I'm not a fan of charter schools, but if, as a council person, as a leader in Metro government, if we're going to rent to children, we need to make sure that that our buildings are in good shape. But I'm nervous about how many of these there are, and how much ultimately we're going to have to pay to upkeep. To give them upkeep.
Okay, so I am definitely not a favor of charter schools at all, but our charter schools now are public charter schools, and a lot of the standards that are in place for regular public education, I know has to go with them also. But we as members want to make sure that the maintenance in the buildings are upkept and are safe for whether it's a public school or a regular school. I do want to make sure, I'm kind of a stickler for stuff, and I'm still kind of new at this chairing things, but I want to make sure that we're staying on this particular thing whenever I have something here, because I know we're used to asking questions about the whole thing. So I don't know if any of his comments or it wasn't really a question, any of his comments are things that you can answer or make a comment to as it deals with just this particular one. I don't know if you know the upkeep of the building. You said the building has been there for a while. I don't know. And if he does not have a comment on the particular things that you were addressing, Councilman, I don't know if it's that you want somebody else to come in here later to talk about this particular one, but Go ahead, sir.
I want us as council members to be aware of what I shared, that this is the 4th lease that we've approved in 3 or 4 months. And we're collecting rent that over between 80 and 100 years will take, the rent that we get will take 80 to 100 years to collect the money that we'll take to do not the daily maintenance, but the renovations for the buildings. And so I just want us as council members to be aware that I think we might need a bigger plan and a bigger discussion rather than one thing at a time about our practice of leasing buildings that we have to charter nonprofits.
Yeah, I understand. And I think that conversation may be something that we have to, that we may want to put in place and have at another time, to have all of them instead of right here when we're talking about this particular bill.
Fair enough.
Yes, Councilwoman.
Thank you. I have a question for, I'm assuming this would be for Ms. Zeitlin. Do we have a time frame on this? Like if this were to get deferred, to have MNPS to come back to answer, because I think those are very valid points, and I think that that can be in reference to this particular contract or this lease agreement. If it is deferred, is that going to have an impact on the current agreement?
I was gonna say, I don't know that I can speak to that. That's just not something that's, included in the legislation, and
Right.
that's kind of all that
Right.
I have access to.
And we have had, as he said, several of them, and this is just one of them.
Yes.
So it may be something that the committee may want them to come in on and speak to specifically about the upkeep and the money that's going into the maintenance of these that are actually charter schools. And I will tell you, the state has new money that's going in. Did they take that part out of the state, out of the TESA bill that's got money going to help with charter schools as well on a state level?
I don't know that off the top of my head.
Okay, so it may be something that you want the school district to come in and to answer those type of questions as well.
I would love to have them at another meeting come in and just answer, kind of give us the basis, so that when we're making these decisions, we know how that fits into the overall plan.
That's something we can do. I have also requested that we're not on discussion, I hadn't asked for anything, so I'm not out of line, okay. So I have also asked our office manager to see about getting some of the school board members to come in and have discussions with us about things, as I did the superintendent. That hadn't been done yet, but it could be that we also have this, them also discuss this at that meeting, or we could have a separate one if that's what you all
And I
would
think
like.
that may need to be at a non-scheduled, not one of our
It would
regular
have to be.
meetings.
That's-
Because we're gonna need a bigger block of
That's
time.
what it would have to be. When I have them come in, it's a call meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
And to be clear, when my comments were not meant to say, hey, let's defer this until we
I
have this
understand.
conversation.
I understand.
I just
You-
wanted to
you
be on
wanted to be
record as saying
heard,
that.
and you are, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so are there any more, these were for questions or comments? Okay, then this bill is before us. I will welcome a motion. Do I need a motion on this? Yes, ma'am.
Motion.
Okay, it has been moved and it has been second. All those that are in favor of approving, please raise your hand or say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed, please say nay. Thank you, let the record show there were no nays. I am open for a motion for, that is our last, unless I'm looking wrong, that is our last bill.
Yeah.
Do I have another motion?
We adjourn.
Is there a second? Second. It has been moved and seconds, then we adjourn. Thank you very much. This meeting is over.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Okay then.
I bought a
Thank you,
car a
Joe.
couple months ago.